Welcome everybody, I am Tock Custom, and in this video we're going to be using the Brother ST150HDH to do our official stress test. So I've got a bunch of canvas here and a bunch of leather, and we're going to see what this machine can do. Now before we start our stress test, I'm going to be using one of the needles that came with this machine, so I'm going to be using the middle grade 9014 needle. Now if you're not familiar with how to change the needle on your machine, you'll put your presser foot down, and I'm going to loosen this black screw on the right side of my machine until the needle falls down. Now most sewing machine needles are universal, so I'm going to be looking for the flat side of the top of this, so there's my flat side. Now the flat side of your needle always goes in the back, so as I'm putting this in here, I'm going to position the flat side so it's in the back center. Now I'm going to tighten this little black screw by hand until I can't do it anymore, and then just kind of tighten it up a little bit more. So now our new needle is in place. Now I'm just going to quickly thread our needle like we did in the last video and get ready for our stress test. Now for this test we're not going to be doing any back stitching, and also I just wanted to mention we're not using an upholstery thread. This is just regular cotton sew-all thread. So we're just going to start by doing 2 layers of cotton duck. Alright, so there's 2. Now let's see how many this can do. Now this is 8 layers here, and I normally don't do anything that I'd ever need to sew more than 8 layers for, and that did an excellent job there. Alright, here is layer number 12. Alright, so I just wanted to point out, this is layer number 14. Now I can't even slide this under here without raising the foot anymore, so we're getting pretty thick. So that just did 14 layers, no problem. Wow. Alright, that was layer number 20. Let's see if we can get any more out of this. Alright, this will be 21 if we can do it, and I can barely even fit it in here at all. Okay, so we got through 21 layers. That is unbelievable that we just went through 22 layers of cotton duck. Alright, this might be our limit. If this can go through 24 layers, I don't know if I can fit any more in here actually. So we're going to go for 24. And that seemed to go just fine. I'd actually go cut more canvas because I didn't think it was going to go this far. So this is 25 right here. Alright, so it looks like 25 layers is our limit here. Now, it's funny because the needle actually went through all the layers, but I think mechanically this machine can't operate with this much material between the presser foot and the actual plate of the machine. So I think our official limit of what we were able to sew through was 24 layers. So let me pop this one off. And this right here just sewed through 24 layers of a cotton duck canvas material. Alright, now I'm going to clean up some of these threads, and I think I might make some kind of a trophy out of this thing. Alright, so as we are finishing up phase 1 of our stress test, I actually wanted to see how thick this material was. So I've got a set of calipers here, and I just want to measure how thick this was. So this says we just sewed through 0.514 inches worth of fabric, or 13.06 millimeters, which is, that's a lot. That is a crazy amount of material to sew through. All right, so I've got some decent quality 4-ounce veg tan leather, and I just want to see how this goes through one layer of leather here. Now, I haven't changed the needle, so we're just going to see how this goes. Now, that didn't seem to have a problem with one layer of leather at all, and even on the back, our stitches are nice and clean, so let's see how this does with 2 layers of leather, and I'm going to put these skin sides together. All right, so that seemed to go pretty well. And again, we're just using regular thread, and we've got a nice, solid, strong stitch between 2 layers of 4-ounce leather, which for a home recreational machine is very impressive. Now, I don't know why anyone would need to do this, but we're going to see how this thing does with 3 layers of leather here. Alright, so that didn't really seem to be a problem with 3 layers. Let's see how strong those seams are. So that seems fine, and that seems fine too. So let's go for 4 layers of leather here. Okay, so it kind of struggled at first, but then it was no problem at all. So this just did 4 layers of leather, which is extremely impressive. I'm actually going to trim off some leather here. We're going to see if we can do 5 layers, just to see if it can do that. Alright, so we actually just got through 5 layers. I could try for 6, but it seemed like it was kind of struggling at first, so for the sake of an ultimate stress test, we might as well try to go for 6 here. Ooh. All right. I think that is our limit, and I think I heard a needle. Oh no, the needle didn't break. But I think it bent it and it crashed into the plate. Let me see if it's bent, but God, it was working at first, and the thread didn't even break. So I got through about 2 inches of 6 layers of leather before something kind of went wonky in there. So let's say the limit here is 5 layers, but actually the stitches up here are pretty strong. So for this machine to be able to sew through 5 or potentially 6 layers of leather is extremely surprising. I'm very impressed. Okay, so that was a pretty comprehensive stress test. We've got our 25 layers of cotton duck that we got through, and then we have our 5 layers of leather, almost 6, but something went wrong there. So, and then also in our last video, we just did 2 layers of flannel. So this can handle extreme situations as well as it can handle delicate fabrics. Now, if you guys are looking for a simple and basic machine that can handle simple projects all the way up to extreme upholstery and other heavy-duty jobs, this could be a very good fit for you. Again, I'm really excited to be working with the Brother ST150HDH. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.